Everybody, welcome to Mystics MMOs. I'm your host, Mysticraven. Lots to do, lots to do. Alright, so I'm gonna drop those dailies from when I had them. And I'll pick up the dailies, but I'm just working transmutation stones. I've got to get transmutation stones to transmute or reconstruct other sets for the builds. Now, the reason I do this is for multiple reasons. And then I gotta farm more things. But typically I play a lot of support role. And I think most people know that. The reason, in PvE anyways, the reason being so I can get faster queues and I can farm transmutations faster to get other builds done. Essentially, that's what I do. And then I once I get these base builds done, I can play pretty much any content at my discretion, right? Whatever. And then I PvP. I farm more transmutations to build PvP builds. So that's the whole idea. And then, so I need transmutations. I also need to farm stuff. And then on top of it, I need to get the builds put together. And that's pretty much the life cycle of Elder Scrolls Online. Now, I did see the new trailer today. Very vague. It's very vague. Obviously, we're going somewhere. So let's talk about that thing alone.
Did your invitation arrive?
We are going somewhere. I don't think it's a new continent. I don't think it's Akavir, because in the timeline, and I could be wrong, but I believe Akavir is no longer habitable at this particular timeline. I believe it is uninhabitable. Thus, that's why we had the Akaviri reign prior to this timeline in Elder Scrolls lore. So, and I believe that's the case. So, most of the, the Bretons, the Akaviri, more of the, Bretons are actually technically a half-breed of humans and elves, technically, I believe. So Bretons actually are, not, like a regular human race, believe it or not. Imperials are more humanoid and Nords. So Nords and Imperials. So I think we're not going to Akavir. Somebody had speculated we're going to potentially the other continent. And I'm like, no, that's just not the case. It's an island. Some think it could be. Now, obviously, there is Breton focus around it due to the armor that was shown from the potential protagonist. So I think, there is something to that. And a lot of people think that we could be going to the island of the Sea Elves. Now, Snow Elves are they're extinct, I believe, now. So we're never going to see a Snow Elf as much as even a Dwemer. So those are two races that we're never going to see in this game. We're never going to see them. If it is the island of Sea Elves, that could potentially give us a new race. It'll be interesting how that goes down. I don't anticipate it. I don't. But if there's a new race, if it is that island specifically, south of Somerset, if it is that island, and we do see Sea Elves, how's that going to work for race change tokens? Are we going to get a free one? Is everybody going to get, you know, a new character slot? I mean, how's that going to work if we see a new race? If we do. But yeah, we definitely know somebody of a Breton origin is involved in the end, and we know it's overseas. So those two things are what I'm taking out of it, and we see 3 ships, obviously representing the 3 alliances. They're all different types of ships too. All 3 of them are different. So those are representations of each of the alliance traveling to this location. So I just don't think we're going to Akavir. From my understanding from lore, it's uninhabitable.
Make sure this one doesn't go running off, you hear? I'm not done with him yet.
I hate this bug. But yeah, so I think it's going to be interesting. It's going to be just so interesting. Because we always get something new. And a lot of people are wanting, like, ships. But here's my thing about ships. If we get them, I think that's a bigger server problem than
looks like dinner's arrived early.
A bigger issue on the servers. So I don't think we're getting ships. Somebody said we're getting ships. I don't think so. But, you know, I do think there's potentially a new race if it's that island. If it is that island. You know? So I'm speculating. Why is everybody leaving this dungeon? Whatever. But
no one leaves this prison.
And I would like to see, hopefully they don't abandon the companions. So I would like to see another 1 or 2 companions added. I'm hoping. I think the companion system's okay. I mean, I don't use them as much, but they do have, you know, kind of a nice little function. They have a nice little way of, you know, for whatever. I feel like it's a new grind, you know, mechanic. But honestly, if they introduced it, I don't want to see them abandon it, if that makes sense. So I really do hope that regardless of where we're going, or what we're doing, or what new feature there is, I would like to see another companion or 2. So I'm hoping we get that. If it's not within the chapter, I would like to see it, you know, sometime within the year. That's what I would like to see. Why in the hell is everybody leaving this dungeon? It's not that bad. It's a normal, it's a random. What the fuck? Anyhow. So I did get to see it, and I was like, okay. So we're definitely boats, though. I don't know. I just don't. I can't say they're ruling out that we won't get ships, but I just do not think we're getting ships. I don't see it. Oh. Got one hitted. So why you gotta DPS. Can't stop them. Focus archers first. But yeah, so it'll be interesting. If we hit that island, we could see a potential new race, playable race. And here's my only fear. If we get a new race, if we do, are they going to give us a chance for a new character slot based on the race? Or are we at least going to get, you know, tokens? Character change, like at least one. Because I'll be honest, to introduce a new race, if they did, not say they are, but if they introduced a new race to this game, and people had to buy a race change token just to access the new race without character slot or something, people will be livid. It would definitely not go over well, I can promise you that. I think it would be cool, regardless. I think this dungeon will pull him in. Oh. But we know Breton. We saw the armor. Something's with the Bretons. DPS is not even paying attention. Dude, yeah, you noticed that what happens when you're not paying attention. I don't know who would queue this dungeon. Oh boy. Don't worry about it. Lag. So yeah, it'll be interesting what other things they tell us this week. And I imagine they'll announce the pre-order sometime soon. Oh boy.
The Guardian is calling Spriggans to aid it. You must stop them.
Oh shit.
Yes, right through you. Don't crush you. Try to slip free. You will use those brigands to heal. Kill them first. Watch out for those swords.
What the fuck, that lag? Might want to get out of there.
to keep moving. The
But
Bailey
yeah,
up ahead
be
is...
interesting.
You're in no state to fight, Midmeat. Our
Well,
friends will have to
officially,
take
yeah,
care
as soon
of
as,
Mylan.
like, within, like, a week or two, I'll be back a year or so. Yay.
Will be dealt with. Must she handle everything herself?
They shall not intrude much longer, my mistress. I swear it. Mycosa calls for your death, and I obey. I'll rip you to pieces. That one shall start our peace. My claws shall run red with your blood. I'll rend your flesh and feast upon the meat. Feast upon that one first, my pack. My
Continue like this. If you transform now, we'll all be at risk.
Oh, shit. God, you have to get that fucking shit. Ouch.
They wouldn't kick me out.
Oh,
eh?
shit.
I'd be hunted, killed.
trophy.
So this is your plan?
It's on
A
normal
magical
whatever.
scroll with some miraculous cure?
Yes, that's exactly what
But make no mistake, she will not become the hunted. Let us hunt you still you have not fallen. You are feeling tired. Let us strike against these fools! Still alive! Well, by Cosa simply must do something about that. Let us finally feast! Let us finally feast!
We must leave! Ada Noctis has
There it
finally
is.
transformed!
How many DLCs can I get in a day? Anyhow, it'll be interesting. We'll see. We know it's overseas, and there's a Breton protagonist. That's about it, for sure. Or could be another race. I mean, honestly, did have a Breton armor. We're just assuming, but could be the ancient Breton armor type because it's showing the offbeat armor. So I'm anticipating that as well. Whatever. Yeah. Next. Sword Keeler. So far, I'm up to, I think, about, 20, 30, 40, 50, about 50, 60 I can farm on this on this account. The other one I can farm over 100. I'm hoping to get there soon. So it's about 2 pieces a day, roughly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, about 60 that I can farm up on just whatever randoms. And then once I get that and start getting the stuff, I'll be good to go. I hope everybody liked the video. I can actually see a lot of people weren't happy about it, but whatever. Whatever. I think a lot of people were like, "Oh my God, there's no way that Mystic figures anything out." What? Huh? What? What? No. Like, everybody talked about Eben needing another set for Eben. And I'm like, it's kind of funny because technically, if you wanted to use, let's say, a Necro Healer in Saxiel as a back, like a Jorina, back bar set, you could. You really could. I mean, sure, his healing's not going to be as good, but he's got really good hots. And the biggest thing about it is you could still put both tanks in that set. One will still run a powerful assault, and one still run Yol. And I'm like, why doesn't anybody figure this out? Why? Because if the other ones still run Kime and they both were in a static version of it, well, the debuffs are going to be applied. And then on top of it, you still have the powerful assault proc. You still have all of these factors are still put into play. So I'm just like, I don't understand why people don't figure that out. To me, that's easy stuff, and I'm not like a hardcore trial player. And I'm like, but I mean, I used to be a raider. I mean, I used to have to do compositions back in the day. I was a tank. I was one of the raid leaders. So for me, it's not hard. I'm like, meh. And then you got these people, what's the meta? It's like, yeah, you guys took a new set, went completely over your heads. Because there's only one way to get major vulnerability other than that set. And nobody figured it out. What a fucking shame. Why are you looking for chests? Medusa is a dead set. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
Be gone, outsider.
No way I rolled in time. I'm calling bullshit. Most people are looking for Undaunted.
Deal with these trespassers.
somebody's looking at the chest. I know where them, or they all potentially could be. My question of it is, do I get both versions right away or not? That's my only question. Remember, I'm on 2 platforms. Not 1, 2. Did I morph that yet? I haven't morphed that yet. Oh fuck. I did. We'll see. Nope, I need it. Yeah, baby. I was like, wait a minute. I'm just doing so much, I forget what I'm doing, whatever. Telling you guys, if you're healers, if you can acquire the Veteran Train Resto, do it. Doesn't have to be perfected. You can do it on normal. There's some dude, I think Deltia is also somebody who shows that all you need to do is like use your spammable on a Magplar. Get a Magplar and you can friggin' just like 2-button the normal version, if not the VAT. It's worth it. God, that rest of the sword and board, in my opinion. Well, and if you PvP the 2H is good too. The rest, the destruction staffs, it's hit and miss. Depends on the build per se, but. Besides the Master Restoration Staff, the Vate is one of the best fucking staffs ever. Now, I won't use the Vate on my Templar. I would use the Master Restoration Staff. I can explain why. Because you have one of the best magic steals in the game in form of an AoE. Even the Warden can use the Vate. You just wouldn't use the Bleaching Vines because you got life steal with the Siphon. get bored. I'm just farming transmutes. No way, man. You see that? I was out. Premium stuff. A farming we will go, a farming we will go. For transmutations, a farming we will go. They really need to like up in PvP incentives too. So we're not going to get PvP anything. Rich kind of was, that's a dead giveaway. Rich is like, I don't see the point in adding a new PvP feature if performance, he said that. So we know no new PvP content. None. We know we're on an island. Do not think it's Akavir. I do not. So potentially, feature, new race. Hopefully we get new companions, for God's sakes. You added them. Give us 2 more races, if at least, or not races, 2 more classes, if at least not 1 or 2 by next year. You have a Nightblade and a DK. Let's get something else going. I don't know. So, you know, at the end of the day, I think that ZeniMax is on the right path. You know, hopefully we get lore, some new lore to add to things. I like little things. Little things go a long way. So in this game, a long way. We're going to get a new trial. We know that's going to happen. So every new chapter, we'll get a new trial. So that'll happen. That'll be a thing. We know that. We know that. Without any doubt in my mind, we know that. So let me check out the comment. Hi, what's up? What's up, Abu? How are you doing? But yeah, so I'm just using common sense stuff. So, yep, I think we'll be good. I think it'll be a really cool chapter. It'll be interesting to see what's going to happen. I hope that ZeniMax, you know, I'm going to keep my ears open, eyes open, ears against the wall, see what's going on like everybody else. But we can dismiss a few things, and I do believe it's not going to be Akavir. It's just because of the timeline. I think during this timeline, and if I'm not mistaken, during this timeline, Akavir is uninhabitable due to the cold or something. It's literally uninhabitable. That's why there was the migrations going on, and we get the Imperial and all that stuff, and Akavir was here and all of it. So I think during this timeline we don't see that. Don't understand that. So sorry. Anyways, we'll see. So we're queued up. You have to translate it to English. Looks good though. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. It'll be a good chapter though. I imagine they're doing some cool stuff. Race, potentially, but if they come out with a race, if they do, we better get character change tokens or a new slot. Do not put out a new race without giving people accessibility to it immediately without paying extra. That would be bad. That would be very bad. Burn. Could you imagine? Could you guys imagine that? A new race, a new playable race, and here's the kick in the teeth. If you have max slots, you either have to delete a character or buy a character token. A race change token. Oh. Ow. 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 Because we can't see snow elves, we can't see Dwemer. That'll never happen. Snow elves are extinct. Dwemer disappeared. And here's the thing. Like, how does that work anyways if you bring out sea elves? Because if you do bring out sea elves, they're very, isolated in Tamriel. So if you brought out sea elves, if you did, they would literally travel to the mainland? They'd be going to the mainland, because we would be the sea elves. I mean, think about that. Think about it. I'm just saying. So if we have potential sea elves, if we were, not say we are, how would that work? I'm debating it myself.
No! Get back!
I've done the quest on this tune, I think.
The Lord knows how to bring your...
Get up, mortal. Your weakness embarrasses us both.
Yep.
Someone approaches.
Look, in the cave.
Doesn't appear to be from the waking flame.
I can open this.
Yep,
Give me a
it's...
moment. Here. You're free.
Drathas, what are you doing here?
I came to find my father and my uncle.
You see, those cultists took them both. Nobody has gone far.
This is what happens when you play on normal. They need to make normal harder. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. They need to bring up the difficulty on normal. They do. They need... What would nip fake tanking, fake healing, and all the nonsense is letting people die in normal mode. Not insanely, but make them appreciate having a tank, having a healer. Look, there's no tank. There's none. 0. I'm going to let him die if I can.
Drathas, you're here. Uncle, you're hurt.
I think they're all
Take
together.
down that Ogrim guard. I must tend to my uncle.
Nope. See what happens? Who gets aggro? Look who gets aggro. If I heal one time, aggro comes to me. Bullshit. I am from Saudi Arabia? Oh, that's cool. You play Elder Scrolls? I mean, I'm sorry, I don't, I don't understand the writing of the language, so I apologize. That's cool. I like, experiencing people from different parts of the world. I've gotten to meet so many different type of people from so many places, and I don't just, through gaming, I think it's so cool. I'm a type of person I like to get to know people, their culture, all sorts of stuff. You know, major reason being is my friends were from Korea, and of course, you know, their dad's from the States, but they grew up in Korea. That's what made me study martial arts. I grew up with Korean friends, and they still had very much a Korean home in some ways. You know, they were Americans, but you know, I mean, like, you know, you didn't walk in with shoes on. You know, a lot of still customs that you know, honored. Little things. I don't know why I did that.
Escapees! Not on my watch!
See that heal? It's gonna get me aggro.
Monster!
Welcome, new slaves! Breaking you!
See who gets aggro?
Take this monster down. I can help.
Wrong move!
Who gets aggro? Not the fakes. You notice they don't fucking have a thing on it. I'm telling you, man. Zoss needs to up the ante on normal.
Up ahead. They use the captives to excavate an old Mehrunes Dagon shrine. It seems they prepare to sacrifice the captives who still live.
Sacrifice? My father could be one of them. Let's hurry.
I don't want to give you anything. I'll just ride it out. Toxic fucking trash. This is toxic. This is toxic bullshit. And this is what the biggest complaint is. Like, from players. Is Zoss's inability to teach people proper mechanics in normal. Because they can ignore them. They don't need to have a real tank. You know, they don't. None of that needs to happen. You know, and to me, you know, if you're going to reward bad behavior, this is exactly what happens. You know, when you reward bad behavior, this is the type of shit that goes down. See? Nothing is going to kill anybody. They can stand in the lava, they can do whatever, and this sets a bad tone for noobs, man. It sets a bad tone. Zoss has need to raise the difficulty of normal and overlands. It's unacceptable. It's completely unacceptable. This is a joke. And it's like, when people don't respect the role, they'll never learn to adapt to anything. You know, it's just it's gross. It's just this is gross type stuff. And that's my only thing. In any game, the worst thing that any game company could do is power creep and not address issues. Why? Well, I like the fact that it has accessibility for players. You know, you have normal, you have that. I do like the fact that ZeniMax does that. I questioned things in the beginning, but, I mean, I get it. So, I kind of, I like that they're trying to reward players for participation and trying to get them from point A to point B. The problem of it is they never really truly succeed at getting to point B because they never learn in point A. They just don't. They don't learn a lot of mechanics. They don't. They're rewarding bad behavior. They're just rewarding it. And why? Because of power creeping. So it's like, okay, look, if you don't up the difficulty, all new players coming in aren't going to adapt, and especially on DLCs. Base game, if you want to keep base game without touching it, that's one thing. In base game dungeons, okay, sure, I guess, whatever. But on DLCs, that should not be this easy for players just to do this. It should not be that easy. I'm going to see if they'll let me ride it out, to be honest with you. If they let me ride this out, I'm going to be like, okay.
Over time, with more of that black ooze.
What's up? I do not understand that. Especially if your name's Dorothy Hamilton. Oh, oh wait. I'm gonna put you in timeout just because your name's Dorothy Hamilton and you look like a bot to me. A lot of people have been getting bots lately. I think YouTube needs to discern between people and bots. I'm just chilling. I don't need to worry about one single threat right here. As long as I don't move. Or whatever. I could. We can't complete it without pulling this thing.
Over time, with more of that black ooze.
To have attracted friends.
I'm not hitting you guys. I'll kiss my ass. One or two of you die? Well, that's your fault. Not mine.
Enough! This feeble prison can no longer hold me. That did it! Finally, I can get down from this inane trap. Drothus, you performed adequately. I'm impressed.
You actually praised me.
Got one more boss.
What did Sauters want with you?
He said very
So far,
little.
it's been a pretty decent run.
But such machines are used to extract Daedric power. I assume for use in their ritual.
We must stop Baron Sauters and find my father.
That's a joke.
I can feel it.
I concur.
It's things like this with performance why people do not take Elder Scrolls serious. Really, honestly. Come on now. Just do it for the DLCs, Zoss. Make people die. Let them get smacked the fuck around. Make the hits hurt. And fucking nerf healing a little bit. They could stand it. A little bit. Nerf healing a little bit. I don't think you need to change tanking at all. Just when people come up and get smacked, if they're not blocking, they're gonna feel it. Woof, boom. They can't out heal the damage. The problem of it is these people have self-sustain. If they have a self-sustain heal, who gives a fuck if you get smacked? Who cares? Woof, ow, boo-hoo. Who cares? Nobody cares. And that's the problem. So you're nerf healing a little bit, and then you make these fuckers in DLCs hit a little harder. So they think twice about going in without, a taunt and a block. You don't need to make a true dedicated. You have the armory system. People should be able to roll faux pas builds. I'm not saying they shouldn't be able to do that. But if they don't have a block and they don't fucking have a taunt, people die. Even in normal DLCs. That's my opinion. Make it hurt. Make it rewarding. Make them respect the roles. If they don't respect the roles, they never will. Oh, look at this. These lovely people brought me all the way here. Now, unfortunately, I do have to do a little bit of this, or else I'll die to the wall. Now, I might as well heal them, because if they wipe here, they're going to be like, well, fuck him. He let us die, and they'll die. I got a free ride basically, and I got my transmutation. Oh boy. What a shit show. This game needs a smack across the head. Stop letting these people have just easy mode on this type of shit. You might as well just hand them the shit. You don't even need to do the dungeon. Here, have it. You don't need to play content. That's ridiculous. We've overreacted. We were totally out of line asking you guys to play something that you bought. Here you go. I mean, what were we thinking? Oh my god. That you're dying in vet? Well, that shouldn't happen. You did it on normal. Didn't you pay attention to mechanics? Huh? What mechanics? Well, there's mechanics there. There was? Yeah. Oh, I didn't pay attention to them. Well, that's our fault. Well, this time moving forward, we'll remove mechanics from vets from now on, too. Might as well. Just say fuck it. Don't need mechanics. We don't need fucking to learn anything in this game. We don't need to do that. We would just, we make it just look pretty. The game looks pretty, right? That's all that matters. Hey, there's a crown store right here. Go check it out. There's a crown store. Game's pretty. It doesn't matter if there's any difficulty or nothing or, rolls. We don't need rolls. We don't need difficulty. No. The game's pretty. Performance could be an issue, but, that's why we made it easier. Fuck me. Anyways, alright. As always, I'm Mysticraven. This is Mystic's MMOs. Peace.